go fellas, I'm Elmo from OzStuntBikes.com. I just parked it there, nice demonstration of it. I know some of you boys are having a bit of a competition on who can scrape and park first. Well, I decided I'd make a little video to help you guys. Some of the lessons I learned when I was scraping. When I was learning, I was always crashing, some really bad crashes, broke lots of stuff in my bike, and if I can help you guys not do the same things I did, it'd be great. So, as I said, I'm Elmo from OzStuntBikes.com, and I've got Clive, the teammate from Out of Probation Stunners from Townsville, and we're here to make a scraping and parking bit. Right on. Oh yeah, here you go fellas, rightio. Before you start scraping and parking, you've got to have some stuff done to your bike first. Obviously your cage bar, this is going to stop your frame and all your motor and stuff getting smashed when it hits the ground when you crash, because you're going to crash, there's no doubt about that. Your sprocket, don't want to go too big or it'll be really twitchy. I've gone for a 55 for 1,000, yeah, it's not too bad, it's pretty good. Next thing, you'll have a 12 bar. Now this properly set up, make sure the actual scrape part is fully scraping the ground, otherwise you're just going to be unstable when it hits. And another thing is good brakes. Make sure your rear brakes are working excellently. Good fluid, threaded lines is optional, and excellent pads. That's what's going to stop you from gorilla slapping that fucking scrape bar on the ground. Okay, before you go starting to scrape and park and that sort of stuff, you've got to make sure you have your rear brake control on lock. Because if you don't, you're going to slam that bar into the ground and you're going to fucking throw your bike away. I've done it before, that's how I learned. I tried to learn scraping and parking before I had rear brake control down. So, if you want to fuck your bike up, snap frames and stuff like I have, go ahead. Learn scraping and parking without rear brake control. You're just going to fuck your bike. Okay, when you're up at balance point, you're just starting to bring the bike back, you're going to use the rear brake. Me personally, when I pop it up, I catch it with the rear brake, and obviously once I catch it, the throttle's off, and I go from there and just ride it at idle. When I'm using the rear brake, I'll give you a demonstration of how I use the rear brake, like this. Put my foot over, find a nice comfy position. And once I'm actually starting to use the rear brake, it's something like that, very small. Now that depends on how good your rear brakes are. Being a 1000 RR, fairly new, these brakes are pretty good. So that's what you do with the rear brake. Rightio. We've covered all the basics on what you should probably do, or in this case what I would do. When you're actually rolling along, I like to start my scrapes and parks from a standstill, as in come to a standstill and I'll pop it up. Catch it with the rear brake and inflate that rear brake so you come back softly and put on the bar. I usually pull the clutch in just as it hits the bar. Okay, another thing I'm doing is, once I've set up, you can either use the foot in the bar or foot in the rear peg, whichever's convenient. I use foot in bar, that's what I love, it feels so good for me. Another thing is, I've got my arms a little bit bent and not stiff but not loose either. I've got a nice curve. I'm looking forwards about 5-6 metres in front of me, and I bring the bike to a standstill and keeping the front wheel straight and the bike nice and straight and balanced. If the bike's not straight and balanced, or the front wheel's kicked a bit, you're going to pop it up and go off the side of it, and it's not going to be nice and smooth. Okay, now getting the bike up there. You want to know how to clutch wheelies properly first, because you're not going to bounce, or you're not going to power these up. You can power them up, but they're pretty damn hard and no one does it. Everyone clutches. The reason why is because when you pop it up, you want it to come straight up to 12 balance point. You don't want to take 10, 15 minutes to get there. Going too fast, put it back in the bar, you experience it getting it up. So you want to straight up within a couple of metres. You want to keep that speed down as unless you already know how to slow the bike down whilst going past the other point with your rear brake. Show you what I do, clutch the bike up. First thing is, you're going to roll along, your clutch is going to be in, you're going to use your front brake just a little bit, nice and softly, to slow yourself down while you get set up with your foot and the foot in the rear bar or in the twin peg. So you're rolling along nice and slowly, then I start using the rear brake, give it a couple of pumps, make sure she's working. No, you're just fucking going up on a 12 or a scrape and having no fucking rear brake. So give it a couple of pumps, yep, she's working, I'm ready to go. I'm looking forwards, and in slow motion, I'll give it some rev, just a bit, and let the clutch out. Once this happens, either the bike's going to launch up and just do a normal wheelie, or it's going to come up nicely on the balance point, and you're going to feel that the bike's going to be pretty light. Or she'll slap back on the bar and you'll gorilla slap and maybe crash as well. So those three things that okay, this is what I do in normal time. What I do is give a bit of throttle, let the clutch out, she comes up, I shut the throttle off, this is myself, I shut the throttle off, and I catch at the rear brake in the idle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a demonstration of my clutch and throttle manipulation to get it up to 12. Clutch come out just after I gave a bit of a blip to throttle. Once it come up, you would have heard it catch the rear brake. Just as it hits, I pull the clutch in and she's all sweet. Right, fellas, well, hopefully those tips helped you out. You know, that's the way I do things. Every stunt is different. Techniques are the same, just so that just different styles and stuff. So rock on. Make sure you film it all. We want to see some crashes.